Isaac, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate getting to spend a few minutes with you to talk about Hounds of War. How you doing today?
Very good. I'm very impressed by the belt behind you.
Thank you. I actually bought that for my wedding, believe it or not, to celebrate after the reception. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the film.
Well, it's a revenge story, but it's like if you look at the film, almost half of the film is what happened before the revenge. It's like almost two films that are combined together. It's like one ends and now the new one starts, but it's one film. It's like so the visual or the places, the locations are different. It starts like the first part is more of a military movie, and the second one is more a little bit of an espionage movie. So that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to give too much away because it's a fun journey to go through. Obviously, in a film like this, you need the right lead man. Tell me about working with Frank Grillo as your lead because man, you had him working.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's look like any other movie. It's you collaborate. That's the process. It's he sees the character in this way. He knows the kind of the character before we even go to shoot. Like any other actors, they have the character. We have to put everything together so it will all work and gel together. The character and the story, and his relationship with the other characters.
Now, in talking about some of those action sequences, you have a lot of guns, you have a lot of bullets, you have a lot of explosions. What is your process as a director to prepare for that?
I lost the end of the question, Manny.
What is your process to prepare for for action sequences that have a lot of gunfire and explosions?
So basically, I mean, for me, the most important thing in a movie is the pre-production because the movie is made in pre-production. The minute that I find my locations, I know how I'm going to shoot a scene, whether it's a dramatic scene or an action scene. And sometimes into very fine details, like sometimes shot, shot, shot. So, or many times shot, shot, shot. So, the preparation is the most important thing. When you do action, it's not only preparation for the way it will look, which is important, it's also for safety, because safety is a very important factor. If the character, if the actor or the stunt knows that he's safe, they can give us a great reaction. If they feel that they can be hurt, they will stiffen up.
Mhm.
So pre-planning it, making sure that it's all safe, it's very, very important. And it comes sometimes I do a fake floors. They look like the real floor, but it's fake. That means you can do a spectacular fall on it. And it looks very painful, but it's not because it's a mat. It's
Mhm.
not something that was uh, improvised in the last minute. No, it was thought before. And of course, you collaborate because the fight choreographer, the second unit director, I had David Wald in this movie. And I know David for many, many years. We worked in Power Rangers already 31 years ago. It's a long time. I had Mike Moller from Germany who brought an amazing team with him. I had Ross Clarkson, that is an amazing camera operator that we've done 10 movies together, include the Undisputed movies and Ninja. And I have in this one Erickson Koras, the DP. Even though we worked first time together, we really gelled really well. So, and he had a fantastic contribution to the movie. So it's all about preparing in advance. It has to be prepared in advance, especially in a low budget movie, that there is no time to think, what are we doing next? Everything has to be prepared in advance. So when you shoot, you shoot, you don't talk. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That makes a lot of sense. And you had a great car chase in your film. No, no details on what that was for, but I did want to ask, being that you're talking about it's a low budget, we need to get it right. You talked about preparation. How do you shoot a car scene? Or do you are the rigs on cameras? Are you on location? Like that just seems like it's a ton of work.
So you had the exterior was on location. First, it's going and finding the location and finding exactly where are we shooting what and how. That was tough, especially the ending to find, I don't know to talk, but how it ends, if that was tough, okay? Because also you have to build something there. And anyway, and then you have the stuff inside the cars that this can be shot later in a studio because you have like two cars and there's a fight within the other car, like actually two fights. So it's all putting the elements together. And thank God for David Wald that was there. And he actually did something similar right before in a movie with Brad Pitt, Ambulance.
Okay.
So we really shot in a real ambulance. It's no need to build anything. We can shoot everything in a real ambulance. So the production was very happy about it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
The
add
money.
to the film. That's great. I gotta ask you, why do we, as an audience, and I mean me too, because there's a satisfaction getting that bad guy at the end. Why do we love revenge films like this so much?
Because I think that there's something within us that doesn't like injustice. And even though the injustice is done to somebody else, not to you, I mean, a good movie is when you basically you have emotion, some kind of an emotional connection with the hero, with the good guys, with the protagonist, and you cheer for him. Therefore, when he takes his revenge, it satisfies you too.
Yeah, it did because at the end of these kinds of films, it's always like, ah, yes, they got him, and then you leave happy despite all of the tragedy that maybe happened in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
One thing I'm really curious about is how do you decide on the pacing of these of action sequences? Because you have a fairly long sequence in the beginning where everything goes wrong. I'm not that's as specific as I'm gonna get. Then you have the car chase where it's happening. How do you decide on how long to keep that going in order to keep audiences entertained, engaged, and energized?
Uh, I don't have an answer for it because I believe, look, I'm not a writer, I'm not a DP, I'm just a director. But for me, one of the things of like being a director, besides pre-planning everything, is that you have something within you that kind of you know how to finish a day, you know how to create a scene, that the rhythm, it's all about rhythm, that the rhythm will work correctly. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think about it. I go with the script and I go with the location and I create some kind of a scene. And I don't think so much of the tempo unless when we're doing it, one of the actors is like taking his time and the pacing is off. It's exactly like music. I mean, music, sometimes you play music and you maybe make a mistake, but if you keep the rhythm and whatever, people will not notice it. So it's some kind of a rhythm that you have to follow that rhythm. You have to stick to it. And then it all blends and comes together.
That is actually a great answer. You're just a man of your craft. So, so yeah, thank you.
Something like this, yes.
Isaac, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
Thank you very
getting some
much.
insight on the film. Hounds of War, of course. It's on digital September 20th. Uh, Thanks again, and we hope to talk with you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Take
so
care. It was
much.
good to meet you.